Hello. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Gail. Good morning.
Good morning. Always good to see you. I'm so
Thank
happy to
you.
be here. And we're back again, everybody. Back again with Living Love Women's Ministries, and want to give you another little update about what's coming. Of course, we're going to have our conference on May 3rd, which is a Saturday this year, coming up very, very shortly. We will soon have a way for you to register, and we'll give you that information shortly. But right now, we just want to give you some more little tidbits about, what Karen and how we used to sit around, Karen, and talk about things and talk about
Yeah.
relationships and talk about this, that, and the other. So we're going to have a little conversation this morning briefly about relationships and how important they are. Right,
Yeah.
Karen?
That's exactly what we're going to do. We want to make sure that we bring value to your life even right now, and that we empower women, because empowered women make a difference in the world. So
Yes.
I want to talk about, just for a minute, about and his Jesus and his relationship with others. That was my telephone, sorry. uh his relationship with others, because Jesus is very relational, and we see that because in his ministry, the first thing that begins to happen is he comes out and selects two people to be engaged in his ministry: Peter and his brother Andrew. And we see that Jesus begins to have a relationship with them. He does not just boss them around, he doesn't just push them around. He talks to them and he relates to them. And, in life, one of the things that happens sometimes is we get real religious about God, and we forget who he really is, and that he is a God of relationship. And so, one of the things that we want to do is we want to talk a little bit about how he acts with others. And one of the things that just strikes me about Jesus is he talks about the importance of turning the other cheek. Whoa.
People
But
have a hard time with that, Karen.
yeah,
I
people
did
have,
too. I did too, and I still do sometimes.
I get it. People have a hard time with that. And the reason people have a hard time with that is it's not something we want to do.
Right.
So I hear people say, oh, that's passive, turning the other cheek. But really, turning the other cheek is one of the hardest things you'll ever do.
That's
It is
right.
not a passive act. It's a very difficult act. It's a very meaningful act. And let's talk about what that act looks like a little bit. So it means that when you turn the other cheek, it's not just forgiveness. You're forgiving it, but you're also letting the person back in to your space in some form or lots of forms. So turning the other cheek is a powerful way to relate to others. You
Yes.
could say it lets you step over things that aren't quite the way they should be, and you give them a second chance or a third chance or a seventh chance to be
Right.
in your life. You could say that turning the other cheek is a way to love the unlovely,
Yes.
because loving the unlovely is not a passive act. It is not.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
it is an act that has to have a lot of strength and power to it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you just lose your temper and say all kinds of things that you don't mean, and you create difficulty with others that sometimes you can't fix.
Right.
Sometimes you can't fix it. Honestly, we can't take back words.
No.
We can't take back actions. We can't change the past. And so it's important to be empowered
Hmm.
and to have the inner strength and the self-control and the love to
Yes.
sometimes turn the other cheek.
Absolutely.
Just turn that other cheek and come back and love with a new power, a new strength. And honestly, it's what we see in the life of Jesus, and it's
Yeah.
what we see him teach his disciples. It's what we see him preach over and over and over. And I bring that one up because it's a hard thing for the human being. It's a hard thing for me. It's a hard thing for all of us. It's not natural to us. It's
No.
more natural for us to fight.
Right. And that's what we're taught.
That's
That
right.
we fight.
That's right. We fight others. And sometimes we're holding things against others that maybe we shouldn't be. And it's
Right.
important to turn the other cheek.
But see, that's the
Especially
thing too. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, please, Gail, go.
No, I was just saying you got to get rid of all of that stuff in order to be able to love people appropriately and rightly. I mean, God teaches us how to love ourselves, and that way we can love others better. But we got to get all of that anxiety, all that frustration, all that bitterness, all that anger, all that resentment,
That's
out
right.
of our system in order to be able to turn the other cheek. Because otherwise you think it's somebody, you're allowing people to walk all over you.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
not it. You're the one that's extending the power. You're the
That's
one that's extending the love.
that is so good. And that's what Jesus says when he goes to the cross. No man takes my life. I give
I
it.
give it
I give it.
power.
It's the power. He had the power to give it. He laid down his life. Nobody could take it from him.
Absolutely.
And while we don't have to lay down our lives, honestly, but we lay it down for the Lord, but we don't really have to lay down our lives like he did, because he did it for us. He's already
Right.
done it, so we don't have to do it. But we do want to take a page out of his book.
Yes.
And we do realize that we want to have the power to not only forgive and not only turn the other cheek, but we have the power to lay down our offenses.
Yes.
Things that have offended us. Maybe they were meant to be offensive. Maybe they weren't meant to be offensive. Both things happen. But either way, we take on the power that Jesus actually commanded, which is we turn the other cheek.
Yes.
So it's those little tidbits in life that actually change the game for us, that make us so strong.
That's a powerful little tidbit.
That's a powerful little tidbit.
And, I would say, Karen, that is a form of laying down your life. When you lay down your life and humble yourself and say, I'm not going to take offense. I'm going to love this person in spite of all the things that have been done to me. Yeah. And people have a hard time on the other side receiving that too. They have a hard time receiving that.
They don't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with that.
That's why it's so powerful. That's
what makes it powerful, is other people don't know what to do with that. They don't expect that.
Right.
So in a way, Gail, this is a tough subject to be talking about online, but it's a great subject at the same time. And we're going to expound on some other things like this, not just this, but things that make us strong women, that make us loving women, that cause our power to show. And so we're going to be working on those kind of things. So we just want to give you that little tidbit today.
Yeah, look, in practical ways that you can take and use it. Like we said this right now, you can take this and use it right now. You can turn that other cheek right now. You can do a loving thing when you really don't want to right now and see the power before you, right? I see it all the time. I'm exercising this empowerment of turning the other cheek. I'm exercising and I'm seeing the benefits of it in relationship. I'm seeing it and I'm grateful for it. I get closer to the Lord by it. I get closer to knowing his love for me, and I get closer to loving him.
Yes.
And I definitely get closer to loving others. So
that's so true.
We got some powerful little tidbits. And, like you said, Karen, we want to empower you. We want to serve you. We want to do our best for you in this situation, that you are able to take some things with you that are just incredible. They're just, what's the word, is powerful. It's the word today.
Brings newness of life. Yeah. So we're looking forward to meeting with you on May 3rd.
Right, in Oklahoma City.
We'll be with you all day long that day. And we are looking so forward to it. We just wanted to come in front of you one more time. And you'll see us again and again, honestly.
We'll be back. And we will have the means by which to register. And we look forward to that. We look forward to communing with you and getting to know you before we get together.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to really enjoy this. I think you're really going to be empowered by it. So God is in the mix. He's making it happen. And I'm so glad to be doing it with you, Karen. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Yeah. Glad to do it together. Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll see you next time. Take care.